on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well. Thank you as ever for stopping by. Real quickly before we get into the video, if you're not already, if you could hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and also if you'd like to comment, that would be great. Also, feel free to share the video if you want to as well, because that will also be greatly appreciated. So, with that being said, welcome to my kind of review of the last game. We take another 3 points. I do have to say that I feel like it was a game very much of two halves. Overall, you know, you take the 3 points and you move on. You go into the international break. It feels like just every other week's an international break. So now the next game we've got is Rotherham on the Friday. And overall, you can't not be happy with another 3 points on the board. Leicester lose, Ipswich get another lucky win. But we've closed the gap down to 8 points overall, and we've just got to keep doing what we're doing. You can't, yes, you focus on it a little bit, but you can't focus on it too much, because we've just got to keep doing what we're doing and move on in terms of the team and how it's working and how it's running and everything that goes with it as well. So, having a look through overall, how do I feel the performance went? And I have to say that I thought the first half was brilliant. Weird atmosphere again, but the first half was brilliant. It was almost too easy at times, and we just looked good in terms of passing, in terms of moving forwards, in terms of doing everything. Everybody seemed to have had a decent enough half, and then obviously you've got Dan James scoring our 6,000th lead goal, and then Peru then getting the second goal set up by Somerville, and just looking overall like a really decent team. And it looked like it was going to be Huddersfield all over again. Plymouth weren't bad, but there was a couple of times where they got in behind us. And I did tweet at half-time saying that the game is there for the taking for us if we can get another goal. However, Plymouth are dangerous on the break, and we just needed to be mindful of that and not switch off as the game wore on. And then I kind of felt in the second half that it was almost as if we felt like it was too easy, and there was a little bit, arrogance is the wrong word, complacency settled in, and we didn't do the things that we were doing really well in the first half without really being troubled too much. But it didn't feel the same, and obviously we paid for that. Plymouth scored a goal, but overall, you know, you can't not be pleased with, you know, another 3 points. But what we need to be mindful of as a team is, for me, is switching off. And I think we switched off a little bit, and we kind of almost went into autopilot and just tried to kind of pass the game out up until the end. And it was a lot more nervous than what it needed to be. And I think everybody kind of said the same thing, that they felt like even though we won at the end, we couldn't really enjoy it. It was just kind of, yeah, it just felt odd and very weird the way that it was. Now going through each, you know, individual player, Meslier, pretty solid throughout the entire game. Was never really troubled with any decent shots apart from the goal, which he couldn't really do anything about. Byram went off injured in the second half, which I think is a slight strain, so it's just keeping an eye on him. Firpo, who came in to replace him, did all right, got stuck in, overlapped okay. Technically speaking, Firpo should be an absolute monster in this league, so hopefully, fingers crossed, if Byram's out for any amount of time, but although we're saying that the 2 weeks that he's now off for should stand him in good stead, and he should be all right for when he gets back, hopefully, fingers crossed. Cooper, yeah, did well, slotted in well, I think. Overall, his performance was decent, it was good. Solid defensively. Joe Rodon, for me, my man of the match for the game. He just has this innate ability to read when something is going to happen, and kind of has the ability to just snuff it out before it starts, and he was everywhere in that game, in that second half. Well, for the entire match, actually, if we was going to give him man of the match. So overall, just brilliant. I was really, really pleased with Rodon. Archie Gray, again, I can't speak highly enough of how good this kid is and how good his potential is. I don't know where his ceiling is, and it's a joy to watch him play football. Had another good game again. Can't stress how good for me again he was. It was for me between him and Rodon in terms of man of the match. Ampadu, solid game. Nothing else was there. Cut out the play. Played some intelligent passes. Was great. Glenn Kamara is really settling into his role now. I think that he is really starting to make that partnership between him and Ampadu gel fantastically well. And overall, solid performance. Again, you can't stress how good for me he is. Somerville, good. Again, he looked a threat going forwards. Really good feet, really good movement. Set up Peru's goal really, really well. Overall, really pleased with him. He was swapped for Jaden Anthony in the second half. And again, Anthony looked really good. Looked to have a point to prove. Played very well. Was unlucky with one of his shots that was saved. So overall, you can't be not happy with that, if that makes any sense. And then Peru got his goal. Great movement for the goal. Was much more involved in this game, I felt, and did a lot more in this game, which is really good to see. And it was almost like there was a bit of a switch that had been flicked for him. So overall, I'm happy with his performance. Happy for him to be back amongst the goals again. Set up beautifully by Somerville. Did quite well. He was replaced by Gruev. Gruev did all right when he came on. It was difficult for him to get involved with the game that much, really. Put his foot about where he needed to and did all right. Dan James, what can you say about Dan James? He's just having an absolute phenomenal season so far. His runs, his pacing behind was good. Can't deny it. He's just fantastic for me. Just really, really good. Really impressed with him. Took his goal really, really well. Came at him fast. Got out of his feet. Made his mind up really, really quickly. And the rest is history. Really, really good finish for that. He was replaced by Nonto. Nonto did okay when he came on. Again, it's really difficult for you to get that involved in a match when it's 80 minutes, but overall, good game. I was happy with it. Rutter, it's a joy to watch that boy play football. Just going back to the point that I was making previously at the start with that complacency settling a little bit, there was almost, with Rutter, a bit of a tendency to overplay. And it's great because it's really great to watch him play because he looks like Bambi on ice. The ball sticks to him like glue. He beats players. He gets past players. There was one move that he did in the second half where he took the ball on the spin and just did this really weird like lob chip ball to Peru, and he couldn't get his head onto it, and I don't think he realised that he had a bit more time, that he could have chested it and then put it in, and then it would have been good. He was replaced by Bamford. Overall, Bamford fine, chasing the ball down, getting the ball into the half, getting into the corners and playing quite well. So we go into the international break having done quite well. We are now doing great. We are 31 points. Southampton keep winning, so we need to keep our eyes on Southampton. We're on 31, Ipswich 39, Leicester 39. So Leicester losing again. Ipswich managed to pull a win out. So we've just got to keep winning the games. We've just got to keep moving forwards, keep scoring the goals, doing really well. We are still proving to be a difficult team to score against. But like I said, we've just got to keep it going, and it's better to be hunting than to be the hunted, because when you're hunting, it gives you that momentum, that impetus. So we're on the catch for Ipswich and Leicester. We're coming, and we'll have to see how the rest of the season pans out. But going into this international break, I'm relatively pleased. You can't not be, really. The team performances have all looked good. Everything else has looked good. So fingers crossed, we should be absolutely fine, and just keep moving forwards. What did you think to the game? That game of two halves thing, I think, is, for me, that's how it felt. We should have put the game to bed better, and we didn't. But you take the 3 points and you try to be happy with it. Let me know what you thought in the comment section down below. Like I said before, if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. If you want to make a comment, share the video, like the video, all that kind of stuff. It really helps me out. And we'll see you on the next video. Thank you very much for stopping by. As ever, I really do appreciate it. Take care.